Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much for being here. Let me see here. Let me see who was first. 1960. Well, you were first, and guess what? There are no prizes, but you get a street credit. So let me see. Come to think of it, I will. Let me see. Yes, I will talk about it. Okay. All right. So I'm sorry, just a little last minute clerical thing. Uh okay. Let me see here. Elaine Parker, Annie Bullard, Deborah Bowens, Rochelle Beldreau, Janice Goodridge, Manello, Elaine Parker, Fancy, Joyce Anderson, Verta Sanchez. Um, okay, let me see. No, I'm sorry, Madison Bonaparte. Nothing. I haven't heard anything from Sherry Ware. Lola, hello. Thank you for being here. Karen, Patricia Nixon, Martha 2021. Let me see. Marcy Foreman, Lydia Washington. Oh, you guys, Lydia has the poll for people. I'm sorry, not people, but Time Magazine. Uh, okay. Yes, and by the way, I was on the fish. I was on the fence about a certain issue, but I decided maybe I'll do a good old fashioned drag. So yeah, maybe. Um, yeah, I'll take it. Okay, give me just a second, you guys. I'm trying to open up another screen so I can see what you guys are seeing. That might be hopeless. Okay, yeah, I'll do it another way. Um, huh. Let me try this. I want to be able to see what you guys are seeing. Do I see what you see? Uh-oh. Uh, oh my goodness. Is all right. All right, let me see here. Uh-oh. Oh boy, I tell you, I got incoming from every direction. All right, so there it is. Now I got another screen. I can see what you guys are. All right, and muted. There we go. And okay. You know what, guys? All this running around, and guess what? I didn't get hot. Hold on one second. Let me do this then. Um, because now I let me see. Be right back. Yes, I love that. Okay. All right. Everything is where it needs to be. Thank you so much for your patience, everyone. Clara Cardore, thank you so much for being here. And Dorothy, I'm sorry, hold on. I got it. All right. Doretha Epps, thank you. And Adrian Burrow. All right, I'm just going to go and start at the very beginning. Okay. Well, not the beginning, but I'm going to see who was the last person to comment. Take it from there. Cheryl Bennett, thank you so much. All right. So I made sure that there were no super chats or super stickers. And happy March, of course, is Women's History Month. March is Women's History Month, commemorating and encouraging the study, observance, and celebration of the vital role of women in America. So, yes, salute the women in your life. Learn about, as a matter of fact, go and learn some family history. I'm sure it's very interesting. Learn about one's family. That's a great, excellent place to start learning about women's history. Start within your own home. As a matter of fact, remember, women's history is actually her story now. So learn her story. Hello, Donna Black. What's your story? Oh, man. Robin Hyde. Hello, Eva. Hello. All right. Thank you all for being here. Okay, so let's move on, shall we? Who broke all the protocols made up just for her that every other royal is now following? Any answers? Who was the one who broke those protocols that all the royals are now starting to follow in her very delicate little footsteps? We all know who it was. You see, once upon a time, there was a beautiful princess who didn't know she was a princess that was born in Southern California. Well, anyway, she finally met this ginger prince. And of course, it was the Duchess of Sussex. Yes, it was the Duchess of Sussex. And we can go all the way back to the first appearance that she made uh, while she was just recently engaged to Harry, the original royal selfie. She was the one who did those selfies first. But now, every time you turn around, there's some big sourpuss all up in somebody's camera phone trying to pretend like he was first. Or if it's not that, then there's someone who, I don't know, is a little tired of, trying so hard to be someone she's not. And she's doing selfies now. Well, the truth is, Megan was the originator. So let us not forget that. And look how cute she looks. I remember this Meghan Markle at the Cardiff Castle, rather. And don't you guys know that when I took my last grand tour of Europe, that was one of my stops. I went to that castle just because I saw Meghan and Harry was there, so I had to go there. I remember it. It was a very cold day in January, and their trains were running. Well, their train was running late, and you know, now they kind of pretend like the Sussexes are trying to, I guess, virtue signal by taking the train from place to place when they're in the UK. Well, the truth is, the Sussexes were always taking trains, even from the very beginning. So that is just the story that they tell. The last time the Cambridges took a train, that was because they didn't want to get criticized when they went to an environmental summit. Shelly L says, "Hi, Baron. I have friends over, and one brought her grandson. Very cool. When you said you were hot, he asked if you have menopause like me." Yeah. Well, let me see. I am a dude, and I did have to take a little pause. So I guess so. And yeah, and then when I got really hot, I did say, "Oh, so it was a men oh pause." So yes, I would say yes. I was suffering from, man, I need to pause for a second. But yeah, so It was a hot flash of sorts, but just not that kind. But well, hello to your family that's there with you, friends, family, all the same as far as I'm concerned. But I'm so glad you guys are enjoying this Friday evening together. Excuse me, and many happy returns of the day. Thank you, Shelly L, and thank you for the super chat. All right, let's see here. You see, a family that Sussex squad together stays together. That's what I always say. Let me see here. Hey, Mo Shannon. Shoulder CC is here. All right. Okay, moving on. And then, of course, I was on the fence about this. Sometimes when you see a little downtrodden, lonely, cruel, and also probably suffering from hot flashes, little sweaty, desperate royal rodent. Sometimes, well, do you guys know who that is, by the way? Just remember somebody who always look like they're sweating and gasping for air and always looking to see if are you going to finish that? You guys know who I'm talking about? Somebody who always like every time he's on television, in between every word you hear. Oh man. Oh yes, I see 1960 Black Queen. Bonnie Mighty, yes. Yes, between every syllable. Anyway, it was kind of triggering. And I said, no, I'm not even going to bother because you guys know I try to protect everybody's mental health. But then I said, you know what? He was careless and foolish. And now he's trying to get himself a 20-piece chicken McNugget. That's bad. That's bad when somebody sees you from behind and they can tell who you are in a public place. How many people are in London? Is it 16 million, 18 million people? But yet that silhouette could only belong to one person. uh, so this is the thing. The group of them were sitting around. That is Oh, thank you so much, Martha. Thank you for the super sticker. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Well, there's the group of them sitting around. Nothing better to do but talk about the Sussexes. As a matter of fact, um, she actually, I'm sorry, the group of them actually have made quite a good living for themselves by talking about Harry and Meghan. Connie Balmer! Hey, Connie Balmer, happy Friday to you. And so, it wouldn't be a royal report without talking about the Sussexes. They have to do it not sometime, but every time, because that is the only way that they can ensure themselves that they will be up to their, I was going to say up to their, well, does he have a chin? Well, up to his bottom lip. I'm not sure he has a chin, but up to his bottom lip with chicken nuggets. Oh man. But you know what, guys, it's not proper to well, but I kind of felt like I was in the mood to drag him because when you hear about the offense that he has committed, now I would love to believe that well, and it probably is just a poor choice of words, but given the atmosphere such as it is nowadays, why would you? That's all I could say is why would you? Connie Balmer, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you so much for being a member of Royal Sussex. And happy Friday to you. So, yes, why would you? So, anyway, as you can see, they are sitting there and they're having this discussion about the Royals and the balcony. Now, FYI, you guys, they have been obsessed about this balcony thing. Will the Sussexes appear on the balcony? Won't they appear on the balcony? And of course, you know, having the Sussexes on the balcony would actually make the ratings for the coronation so much better. Well, as a matter of fact, you don't even need them on the balcony because that's after the fact. But the thing is, if they go to the coronation, I guess by them discussing this balcony thing like that, they're trying to build up the anticipation that the Sussexes are going to make their appearance on the balcony. And that way, people are going to watch to see if the Sussexes are on the balcony. So I think it's kind of clever marketing. If you want to ensure your ratings, then you have to hike this fact that the Sussexes may actually appear on the balcony. Whether or not they will, it doesn't matter because I told you guys I'm going to watch the coronation. I don't want to miss a thing, especially when they apply the holy oil. I want to see if Camilla is going to need I think they're going to have an exorcist on standby. Um, I think they're going to have an exorcist on standby just in case Camilla starts spinning her head around. Like, what was her name? Was it Linda Blair in The Exorcist? Yeah, just in case she starts spinning her head around like that. I think that they are going to keep an exorcist on retainer. Um, and as for Charles, well, it's nothing that how is that they keep oh, well, by the way, let me finish telling you who's here. So that is Arthur Edwards. That is the photographer, right? And I don't know who the lady is in brown, but when you see that is that flowers or leopard skin pink or something? Well, you guys know who that is. When I saw her, I always hear that same music in the background. Da 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 da. But where are the clowns? There ought to be clowns. Well, maybe she's here. Yes, is Emily sending the clowns Andrews? Someone who doesn't know how to blend her makeup, whether it's her blush, eyeshadow, lipstick, there is no colors that are too bright, and there is no brush that is too big. That Emily Andrews, she was there. And see, the bad thing is, Emily Andrews will coerce the other reporters into getting themselves in trouble. Now, I'm not saying that's the case because Robert Jobson is a grown man and he's very capable of getting himself in trouble. But having Emily Andrews around you, it just brings on the messy. As a matter of fact, I mean, look at this. Now, you know that that's somebody who is very messy and someone who is bound to get you in trouble. The best thing to do when she's around is to think twice before you put it out there. So you can tell from Robert Jobson's hand sticking out. Do you think he's saying, I saw this tree and I love nature so much I decided to hug it? Do you think he's saying, I leaned in so that someone can give me a hug, but they couldn't get their arms around me? Or do you think that Robert Jobson is actually talking about holding someone's child over a balcony? See what I mean? Now, any of those are pretty tacky, but that last one, why would he say maybe Harry will hold Archie over the balcony like Michael Jackson did? That is what he said. He said something to the effect, as a matter of fact, let me just allow you to hear it for yourselves. Per copyright, I cannot do the video, but at the very least, I can do the audio. Okay, here goes. Now, of course, you can hear Emily Andrews. It's all about you, Archie. It's all about you, Archie. And of course, she whips up the frenzy of conversation. And next thing you know, Robert Jobson has put his size 15 foot in his mouth. You see what I mean? I'm not trying to blame Emily Andrews, although she is quite capable of being messy all by herself, but is something about her presence that can turn an already dodgy situation into uh-oh, you guys didn't have any sound? Oh, I'm so sorry. You know what? I can fix that. I can fix that. Give me just a second. Give me just a second. I will fix that. I tried to do it twice for you guys, but I got it. It does that sometimes, but no worries. I'm all over it like a cheap suit. I trust me when I say this. I got it. Give me just a second here. I always have something on standby just in case. All right, so let's try that one more time. Huh. Okay. And here goes.
The king blows out Archie's birthday.
Candles, and it's all about you, Archie. It's all
They'll
about
sing
you.
happy birthday on the balcony to Archie. Yeah.
The balcony, the balcony.
Yeah. Michael Jackson thing where they hold him over the.
No way, that's not going to happen.
The crown and the king blows out Archie's birthday.
Candles, and it's all about you, Archie. It's all
They'll
about
sing
you.
happy birthday on the balcony to Archie. Yeah.
The balcony, the balcony.
Yeah. Michael Jackson thing where they hold him over the.
No way, that's not going to happen.
So I'm sure you can hear it that time.
Candles, and it's all.
There you go. I'm pretty sure you could hear it that time. He said perhaps he can hold Archie over the balcony like Michael Jackson did that time. And of course, you could hear Emily Andrews. It's all about you, Archie. It's all about you, Archie. That is the discussion that they had. I think it's pretty tacky to make any reference to someone else's child, in particular when Archie has been threatened by the racists, the right wingers, the white nationalists. Harry has been threatened, called a race traitor, and of course, everything that has been said about Meghan. And in spite of all of that, they just, if they would have restricted their conversation to the parents, that I'm okay with. But that you start talking about someone's child, like, that whole thing with Michael Jackson was a PR disaster for him. Not to mention, it could have cost him the custody of his child. And then, of course, Jobson is making a big joke out of it. Not funny, not attractive. That's why I said I wasn't sure whether I was going to talk about it, but I thought you guys had a right to know that this is what the topic of discussion was, with Arthur Edwards, Emily Send in the Clowns, and whoever that other person is. And of course, Robert Jobson. Elaine Parker, thank you for the super sticker, and thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. Happy Friday to you. So that was their conversation today. Let me see. I'm sorry, did I say that already, Elaine Parker? I think I scrolled in the wrong direction. Sorry about that. Uh, okay, I did scroll in the wrong direction. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of messages I missed here. Baron, so disappointed as I pledged to the Republic that I will be at the demonstration against the coronation in May, been advised against it by family members who are insensitive. Um, Martha, I mean that's a personal decision that one should make. I won't tell anybody what to do about that, but I can think of some ways to help you decide whether or not it's the right thing to do. um, but mostly it's on you. So if you choose to go, all I can say is take pictures. All I can say is take pictures. But I mean, there's many reasons why people would go. I'm sure some people would say that is, not proper, and especially if there's a royalist in the family or something like that. I understand. So let your conscience be your guide. But if you feel a certain way about these issues and you want to express yourself, I mean, you do have a right to do that. So, oh man, but that's a tough one. But I could never say, surely you should not. I think you ought to. Well, okay. Let me see if I can help you make up your mind. I'm trying to see if I have anything that might persuade you to um, go with your conscience on that one. Let me see if I can find something. Um, hmm, hmm. Nope. Nope. Yeah, I thought I had something, but maybe I don't. Oh yes, here you go. Now, does this help? Does this help? Because I have it on good authority that yellow t-shirt guy is going to be there. So if this doesn't help you make up your mind, I don't know what will. But this is my advice. A little massage oil, just in case somebody's biceps or triceps become inflamed from carrying those yellow placards. At least you will be there to tend to their misery. You know what I mean? So, so that's the best advice that I can give, is find out if he has a motorcycle. You know what I'm saying? That's how you decide these things. You go as superficial as possible in these matters, and that is how you decide whether or not you want to be a part of that type of protest. You figure out if there's anyone with washboard abs, which is what a lot of people are prone to doing these days, and then, and a great hairline doesn't hurt. So let me know if that's been helpful. Let me know if that's been helpful. And listen, if you need help with anything else, please let me know. And especially the more superficial it is, the more I'm apt to help you. Okay? Okay. See, I love when I help people solve their problems. Um, oh man. Oh, okay, okay. Maybe this helps. How about this? Does that help? See there? Does that help? I'm trying to help you out here, Martha. This is a definitive reason to show up. Okay? All right. All right. I think I've done my job here. So let me get back to Robert Jobson and let me look at a couple of your comments. Oh man, I'm superficial. Plus eyes like that don't lie, right? Eyes like that don't. Let me see. Is there a cleft in the chin? Can't tell. But yeah, that's how you figure out these things. Okay? You go as superficial as you can. All right. All right. I'm so far behind with my comments here. Okay. Dale Beebe says they should be careful what they wish on someone's kids because what they want for them, they want for their own. That's true. That's true. You don't want that kind of stuff visited upon your own home. And that's what my grandmother always said. Yeah, absolutely. And grandmas, aunties, they always know best. Donna Reese says that was a disgrace, and everyone wonders why Harry is making these demands. He should not go to, let me see, he's not going to have a repeat of the last two occasions. Yeah, exactly. Because with the coronation, they made a, well, not the coronation, but the Jubilee, the Queen's funeral. And let's face it, Philip's funeral, the whole thing about uniform, no uniform, all of those things were designed to try to humiliate Harry as much as possible. They still making fun of the child like they did. I'm sorry, like they did in that BS tabloid paper comparing Archie to that thing I hate to even mention. Exactly, exactly. I understand what you're saying. Cynthia Ashton says, "Hi, Baron. Don't worry about these haters of the Sussexes. It seems as though they are displaying their abyss of depravity before they meet with justice of God of creation, one of God's. Okay, and Archie is one of God. Okay, Archie is one of God's creations. Exactly. Leave them children alone. Keep that child's name out of your mouth. I mean, and the thing is, it's a struggle. It's a struggle for Robert Jobson to raise his hands that high in the first. Well, what am I saying? I mean, let me stop. But it is a bit of a struggle for him to reach out like that in the first place. Why waste all that energy saying something stupid? You know what I'm saying? Conserve your energy. You never know when you might encounter something like you have to step up on the pavement or a flight of stairs or I gotta stop. Oh man, let me see. Oh, look at me! I'm ringing the bell already. Helen Cole says, "How can we work to get Robert Jobson canceled? Do we have a website for me to send him how I feel about his comments regarding Archie?" Listen, Helen, what you do is you try to keep finding ways to get him to go up a flight of stairs. He'll cancel himself. I gotta stop. Stop it, you guys. I cannot sit here and say stuff like that. I am trying to do my work and to be very serious and sober about this whole thing. But I'm impressed he was able to get his hands that far in front of him like that. You see what I mean? Because this is the most athletic position that I've ever seen Robert Jobson in quite some times. Um, And by the way, Helen Cole, thank you so much for the super chat. I mean, look at him. He's trying to keep his knees as close. I mean, he's doing a lot right now. It doesn't look like it, but he's doing a lot. This is the most activity he's had in quite some time. And then, of course, he went to go and drown his sorrows in an order of chicken nuggets with extra dipping sauce and some fries on the side and a quarter pounder and a fillet of fish and a Diet Coke. Oh, man. Listen, you guys, stop encouraging me. You guys are just as bad as Emily Andrews encouraging me like that. I'm trying to do my job here, and you guys are encouraging me. Okay. So I will say this as well about Robert Jobson, because even though let me see here. Audrey Manguero says Archie is destined to be handsome, good-natured, balanced child with the Harry and Meghan for parents. Those four sad elderlies will live to see it, and they are jealous. Exactly. Especially the one sitting next to Robert Jobson, the one that's in his shadow. I don't know, Audrey, he might not make it, but the one next to him, he might not make it, but the rest of them, they will see it. But that one next to him, he might not make it. I don't know if you've ever seen him, but he might not make it. I mean, he's barely there now, so he might not make it. But the rest of them, for sure. But him, he might not make it. Oh, Lord. Oh, I got to stop. Anyway, but he might not make it. So one day, this just reminds me. Now, Robert Jobson wrote a book about William for his 40th birthday. The story of the making of a monarch for the 21st century, right? So Robert Jobson, and I know you guys, it's kind of awkward looking at those two pictures on the right, because if I didn't know better, I would have thought that he was at one of the loos over at Heathrow Airport trying to get some reports in before he catch a flight. Whatever it is, there he is as usual, sweating and grunting and sweating and grunting. And that's just in the middle of the conversation. I don't know what he's doing, but I know what it looks like he's doing. Anyway, I noticed when I saw his Twitter one day, look at the profile picture he's using. By the way, he changed it. I think he listens to Royal Sussex. He changed it because when I looked at his Twitter, I said to myself, I thought Kim Jong-un's father was dead, right? I didn't know that Kim Jong-il has a Twitter page. How am I seeing Kim Jong-il's Twitter page? Well, it turns out that that was Robert Jobson's Twitter page. Robert Jobson, the man with a gravitational pull as strong as Jupiter, Robert Jobson, that was his page. See how it's difficult for Omen to escape his gravity? Omen's actually trying to pull away, but Robert Jobson's gravity field is pulling him in. So take a look there on the, just so that we're clear, Kim Jong-un's, I'm sorry, Kim Jong-il, anyway, dear leader, that's what they used to call the late leader of North Korea. That's him on the right. That is Robert Jobson on the left, I think. Either way, you can barely tell them apart. As a matter of fact, you never see the two of them in the same room at the same time. But I thought for certain that the the late leader of North Korea was actually maintaining a secret Twitter page, but it turns out it was Robert Jobson. So go figure. But anyway, I think he heard me, and so he changed his Twitter to something else. But yeah, so yeah, anyway, so that's it for Robert Jobson. Let me take a look at a couple of more of your comments before we move on to the next topic. But anyway, what he said was careless and foolish, and he ought to be ashamed of himself for what he said about someone's child. It was inexcusable, and I'm thoroughly disgusted by it. As a matter of fact, I was considering soliciting someone's opinion about that, someone who themselves have found herself catapulted into fame and possibly fortune, but I'm not sure. But anyway, I was, considering seeking somebody else's opinion about it. And anyway, she said, and I quote,
just don't get it. I don't get any of it.
What do you mean? You don't get what?
I don't get why we're so obsessed with these humans that are exactly the same. Like, it could be us four sitting there. I just don't get it.
But are you talking about what you mean as royals or as, like, Kim Kardashian? Because for me, they're becoming celebrities.
Well, yeah, to me, that's all they are.
The Queen
is their celebrity.
For me, is brilliant.
I love the Queen.
No, duty, responsibility.
She's always worked really hard,
But
hasn't
I would
she?
work hard if the whole country paid for me to have like 12 houses and work really hard.
No, they don't pay for all of the houses. But
just a few.
Yeah, so just like Stacey Solomon, I just don't get it. So there you go. I just don't get it. Oh, but speaking of get it, thank you so much. I received a PayPal. Thank you so much, DR. I won't say the name, but DR, thank you so much for the PayPal. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, so anyway, next time Robert Jobson has an opinion about something like that, remember,
for that,
ain't nobody got time for that, Robert Jobson. Ain't nobody got time for that. So keep your opinions to yourself. Okay. Because ain't nobody got time for that. Really, ain't nobody got time for that. Let me see here. I'm sorry, I'm looking at some of y'all comments here. I know, because usually he's yeah, so I don't know. Maybe he ain't gonna make it either. I don't know. Let me see. Cynthia Ashton says there's something about someone's greatness before they themselves even are aware of it, but the enemies see it and it terrifies them. Cynthia Ashton, I like that. And let's see. That's why the British media are going in so hard on the Sussexes. Yeah, it's that greatness that they see. The Sussexes have managed to do so much, as we discussed yesterday, with their foundation, the Archwell Foundation. the Archwell Foundation is doing so well. And let me just in case you missed it yesterday, and the short period of time that they've been able to operate. And let us not forget, they started this foundation in the throes of a global pandemic. And they have managed to give, let me see, in revenue and spent a total of $3,987,000. That is a huge amount of money for such a young foundation. And so, if you compare them, which is unfortunate, but it also is quite illuminating when you compare their foundations to the likes of the Clinton and the Obama Foundation, Archwell is in incredible shape. So we could be very proud that not only that we in spirit and otherwise support the Sussexes, but that they have done so much with their platform. So I am very proud of that. And just like the other day, you guys, I didn't know how to share this with you because it was from someone's Twitter account. And I was hoping that I could find it from the account belonging to the Harvest Home. But apparently Harvest Home was swamped with a whole bunch of stuff from Amazon. And when I say they were swamped with a whole bunch of stuff, you know that the stuff that they received, a great deal of it came from the Sussex Squad. The other day, when we clicked on that link for the Harvest Home, you guys responded to that link, and it actually showed in the amount of stuff that they received. So again, I didn't know how to share that with you. I tried to find it on the Harvest Home account and I could not, but that is just like a small part of the generosity that the Sussex Squad has been putting forth ever since, for about 3 years now, longer than that. So yeah, that's impressive. So I'm very proud for what we've been doing here. It's very cool. So that is commendable. So whatever the derangers, the haters, and the tabloid media think about the Sussex Squad and try to make it sound like we're some subversive group, nothing could be further from the truth. But we do like to have some fun here. And it's our way of dealing with some of that nastiness that has been coming from the other side. So let me see here. Okay. Andy Bullard said, Baron, the sad part about it is they see nothing wrong with what they say, ignorance. Yeah, they think is acceptable to say the things that they say. And it just goes to show that they are in such a really loud echo chamber. Oh, wait a minute. Are you holding up? Isn't that something? Mario Apanya is actually holding up the spare. That is so cool. I am just knocked over by that. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing that profile picture. Yes, the Sussexes invented modern royalty. Absolutely right. As I like to say, the template which the future young royals will use in order to make their lives livable is going to definitely be a product of what the Sussexes have endured and how they have achieved in spite of all of the things that has been. By the way, you get a bell for that. Thank you so much. That is super cool. I love that. Let's see here. Foxy, thank you so much for the super chat. Love this channel. Baron, mods, and subscribers. Thank you so much, Foxy. And thank you for the super chat. Thank you very much. And happy Friday to you. And as always, thank you for watching Royal Sussex. All right. I had to go deep that time. Royal Sussex. All right, so let's get on with this. Now, you guys, I'm not going to go very deep into this. and I'm going to be very, very, what do you call it? Complimentary to Anne of Duchess of Success, because she has been trying to dissect this for us. It's a lot of information, and I'm going to wait until we get closer to the trial before, until we get closer to Harry's day in court, before I go very deep into it. But as you can see right here, investigator jailed for phone hacking claims, mail on Sunday paid for his information. The private investigator, Glenn Moquer, I hope I'm saying that right, who was jailed for phone hacking on behalf of the News of the World, has claimed in an interview, and that was to ITV. Let me pull that down so I can see it. Okay. In an interview with ITV News, that the Mail on Sunday also paid his illegally obtained information. The public perception of my services were only used by the News International is not the case, as my services and skills were used by other papers, such as the Mail on Sunday. Gasp. The phone hacking scandal led to the closure of the News of the World in 2011, but Associated Newspapers, I believe that's the Mail and the Mail on Sunday, have always insisted they never employed the so-called dark arts of their rivals. At the Leveson inquiry, let me see, the then editor of the Daily Mail, Paul, I can't say that name. Is it Ducray, said so under oath. So this guy had actually gone to jail. He had gone to jail because of the phone hacking. This is huge, you guys. That's why I say it is a lot to dissect. And I really want to make sure I get it right. But also, pedo of Facts and 2 Cents, when I call the prosecutor. That prosecutor, pedo of Facts and 2 Cents, it is going to be a lot, you guys. So read up on it when you can so that it'll make more sense to you, because it's so widespread, the whole thing about the phone hacking and all of the other things that these tabloid newspapers were involved in. And they seem to operate as though they were above the law, which is absolutely frightening. But yeah, so that's just a little nugget I was going to share with you at this time. Beverly McCaskill said, did any of them talk about Louis slapping his mother last year? I don't know. Did any of them talk about Louis slapping his mother last year? That should be hung over the balcony, and even when he was hollering along. Beverly McCaskill, I don't think that was a topic of the conversation. You see, when Louis does his little stunts, it's cute. Like pistol whipping his mama and stuff like that is cute. But if a child that they rarely have ever seen plays the piano, then obviously there's something hidden in that piano playing, right? They find aggression in playing the piano and singing for mommy, rather than somebody taking a little plastic replica weapon and pistol whipping his mama with it. That is something that they think is cute. So, I don't know. I mean, I think at one point Louis stuck his whole fist down in his mama's mouth just to shut her up. But don't get me started. Don't get me started. I don't know. But I don't think that was a topic of the conversation. But thank you so much for your comment. I think somehow that part of the conversation probably was edited out or something. So who could know for sure, right? Time for that. What? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. Say again.
I got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Okay, yes. Yeah, so I guess that's the answer. Ain't nobody got time for that. Right. So, I'm having too much fun today. Especially with these very serious topics. So, let me get back into character if you don't mind. Let me see here. But since you guys brought it up, this is how an expert on the early years handles a tough situation. I repeat, this is how the expert on early years handles those tough situations. Hello, Ivy here. Hello, Ivy. Girl, the Duchess of Sussex won. Meet me at the Royal Sussex party. Nelly's gonna be there. All right, Ivy out. You know what? I have not come down from my high yet. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry about the sound. I didn't want you guys to hear me blowing my nose. So I put it on mute and then I forgot to unmute myself. You see what I mean? I thought that would be a bit much. So I mute myself so that I can blow my nose and then I forget to unmute myself. So that was not an ocean going vessel. That was actually me blowing my nose. Pardon me. Okay, so you guys, Will's the freedom fighter. Isn't that something? William has been declared a freedom fighter. And then, of course, if you look up there at the top of the right side newspaper, the Express, it says Prince prays for troops on Ukraine border defending freedom. So they're trying to create a distraction. He was going to, well, not going to, but he went to Poland to say thank you to the troops for defending freedom. As you know, Poland is a NATO partner. And as such, Poland has had an influx of troops from all over the European NATO nations. NATO, of course, stands for North Atlantic Treaty Organization. That is a group of Western countries and a few of the former Warsaw Pact Eastern countries, east of the old Iron Curtain. And so, anyway, there are obligations to the signatories of NATO to lend protection. And since there is a war in Ukraine, right on the back doorsteps of Poland, then of course NATO has to show up and show force just in case the war spills over into Poland. And so President Biden said that we will defend every inch of the NATO bloc countries, and that includes Poland. So that's why there are British troops there, because of that agreement with NATO. And so William is trying to look like the fearless leader, trying to look strong and virile. So he has decided to take a trip to what seems like it's the front lines of a war, but it's actually just the front lines of Poland. I mean, it's not a war. It's just they're just troops fulfilling their duty as NATO countries. But it looks good for him because it makes it seem like he's this global leader, and someday he will be the head of state, a head of state who supposedly has no political power, but you know, that is him trying to look strong and decisive. So he went there and he gave a very awkward, well, I just want to, and thank you for being on. And so I actually looked at one of the photos, and it's just like I could see a girl in the background on her phone as though she's ordering something from a local restaurant. It was all very awkward and so unnecessary. And I promise you, maybe it's my bias, but it seemed like people were just looking at him and trying to figure out, is that why you came here? Did you bring anything? Let's see. Helen Cole says they was hoping to see Harry. Ukraine asked for Harry. Right, right. Thank you so much for the super chat, Helen Cole. And I'm pretty sure that that would have lifted morale better than having William there. So, and then if you take a look here, that's the photo. Why is the girl in the background there on the phone? Look at the guy in the red beret looking like, what are you doing here? I mean, it's like, I don't see the enthusiasm. I promise you, I do not see enthusiasm in this photo. Now, I know this is just a snapshot of the event. And so I'm going to try to be fair and say, how could I possibly know the spirit or the mood of the moment? But it is just, is that right, Mo Shannon? But yeah, it is just a snapshot of a very awkward moment where he traveled all the way from the UK to go there so that this girl could call to make sure that they added a couple of packs of soy sauce to her carry out or takeaway or whatever. And so this other guy could kind of just count the hairs on the back of Willie's head. I don't know. It doesn't look very interesting for anybody involved. I didn't see the actual video. Well, I take that back. I did kind of hear him muttering something, and then I quickly moved on. Let me see. Oh, that's not for me. Okay, so let me see. Yes, cookies and cream. That is true. The unroyal family racist henchmen disrespecting and making heinous comments about an innocent child isn't a good look for the unroyals. They're condoning and inciting this hateful behavior. I agree with you, cookies and cream, and it is not a good look. Let me see. Oh, really? Baron, it soon vanished when Harry came up on the video. All right. Okay, let me see here. And then, of course, there was this rumor that William went over there to try to get those wax figures removed from the Polish museum. So perhaps this idea that he was going to thank the troops was a clever distraction so that he could, I don't know, maybe him and a few of his royal protection officers could slip into the wax museum in the middle of the night and remove those frightful lifelike images. And I say lifelike because if you take a look at this photo, now tell the truth, which of those waxy, motionless, empty figures are actually the Cambridges and which are the Waxworks figures? You really can't tell, can you? Are they on the left or are they on the right? I mean, when you look at them, okay, I'm going to give you the clue. One of the figures has way too much hair, right? And the other one's face is way too smooth. Actually, both of them, their faces are way too smooth on one side. But yeah, those very weird, bizarre waxwork-like figures that you see, that is actually the Cambridges on the left. On the right. I'm sorry, on the right. Yes, I believe that is them on the right. Deidre Meinke says, Baron, now we all know our King Harry was missed. He would have worn military attire. Geez, he can relate. What a missed opportunity. I'm sure it's missed opportunity. Thank you so much, Deidre Meinke, for your comment. And it is true. Harry just relates so well to just about anyone that is, not to Lorna Williams, permanently pegged. He looks permanently pegged. I would ask you, what does permanently pegged look like? But I think I got it. Anyway, Deirdre Mikey, thank you so much for your comment. And thank you, Lorna, for pointing out permanently pegged. Oh, man. Okay. So if you guys remember, I thought that they missed the opportunity to create the most lifelike William that they could. So I decided to take license with the already lifelike, waxy, works and create my own. So I did him a solid by just removing just a couple of hair follicles just so that it would look more authentic. I think I've done a good job. And by the way, William, in advance, you are welcome. TCC's son, 15 months? 15 months of membership to Royal Sussex? Outstanding. Congratulations. And thank you so much. And remember, um, memberships to Royal Sussex is only $4.99. Now, what do you get for $4.99? Well, if you're a member on the YouTube, not the Patreon, but on the YouTube, you actually get access to those nifty little stickers that you see in the comments. And you also get a chance to support Royal Sussex. Like, for instance, some time ago, I went and purchased a new computer, and now it's so fast and reliable. And the cool thing is, they actually they refunded the money from the old computer, which I traded in for the new computer. So it was a win-win all the way around. I'm very happy about that. So anyway, TCC Sun says they're trying to justify them, excuse me, showing up at the Invictus Games. All of a sudden, they're taking military pics. Let me see. Oh, I'm sorry. There we go. Oh, man. Where did that go? All right. We see you and you're not welcome. Yes. Thank you so much, TCC Sun. And that is so true. What a better way to try to steal some thunder from Harry than to all of a sudden show up at these military bases. And then, of course, I thought about Catherine, and I was like, I want Catherine to be more lifelike. So, as you guys know, whenever Kate is in a social situation, whenever someone is trying to teach her something, she always starts listing that head to one side. I don't know why she does it, but suddenly that head starts listing to the side. And so I decided to make her more lifelike by, listing her head over to one side. And I think I have managed to create a more authentic Kate. So it was real easy. You see there? You just take away some hair. Now, I didn't want to mess with her eyes or her mouth because, there's some other things I could have done to make a more lifelike image of Kate. But I decided that some of those would have been in bad taste. So I decided to limit the, lifelike image by just kind of listing that head to one side. If you ever seen those photos of the Andrea Doria before it sank, it started listing to one side. So I was thinking Andrea Doria, which of course was an Italian luxury cruise ship, ocean liner, and it somehow started listing to the side one day and sank. So that was what I called this. I called it Operation Andrea Doria, and that is means that it's code for listing to one side. I'm not hoping that she sinks or anything. I'm just saying listing to one side. That's all. And if you get that reference, you're old, just like me. Oh, man. Okay, you guys. So, but there has been other situations. Now, you guys may not know this, but there's also waxworks of the Queen. And I believe that frightful figure on the right side is supposed to be Prince Philip. I think they've done a fair job with the Queen, right? And the Philip one, you can't really see a clear image of it. I think Philip kind of looks like Charlton Heston, right? I mean, take a look at that. When you look at Philip, don't you kind of see Moses? I see Moses. Yeah, to me, Philip looked just like Charlton Heston. And so one of the other situations, if you guys remember, I think it was a German museum. I thought this was so undignified, the way that they treated the Queen statue. Now, to be fair, the Queen was still alive when that happened, but It seems like they could have just sprung for more hair, but instead they did not. And I thought it was rather undignified. I mean, after all, that is Her Majesty the Queen. And I thought it was unfair of them to, you know, that was not good. Yeah, so I don't know how this made it into the magazine, but for some reason they and also I think taking a close up photo of it was also kind of shady. But and you know the thing is I can see Edward, right? She really does. Edward really does look like his mother. He really does. So anyway, Your Majesty, I'm sorry that this happened to you. This was probably the worst thing that has happened since 1992 is a year that I should look back upon with undiluted pleasure. It was a horrible anus. Remember that? 1992. That was the year that her castle caught on fire. 3 of her children divorced. Charles was committed to his side piece. I mean, a whole lot of stuff happened in 1992. And far too often the Queen has shared that with us. But yeah, 1992 is a year that I shan't look back upon with undiluted pleasure. It was a horribilis. What was it she called it? It was Latin. It was a horribilis anus. It was a horrible anus. That's what it was. It was 1992. Okay. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. And then there was the time when some people ran and stormed into a wax museum and they decided to throw a pie into the face of the Prince of Wales. You guys remember that? Can you believe? Now, I thought it was very undignified to do this, but then to have somebody run in there and slam a pie into the face of the Prince of Wales, for goodness sakes, who would dare do that? And of course, when they reported this incident, Charles was like, Camilla, oh God, I hope that whipped cream was organic. Oh Camilla, they've ruined yet another one of my double-breasted ducktail suits. Camilla. So apparently Charles was upset about it. Well, the thing is, it was not one of his double-breasted suits. It was a tuxedo. So nothing to worry about. They only ruined one of his many tuxedos. Oh my God, Camilla. How dare they? How dare they, Camilla? So that happened. So just so you know, people have been very disrespectful with those wax figures of the royal family. Gina Yashir slams trolls for taking jokes out of context to justify attacks on Meghan. Well, you guys, this happened yesterday. She, well, it didn't happen yesterday, but as you can see, it hasn't gone unnoticed that this has happened. And so apparently, Gina has a pretty big following on social media, obviously. And I'm glad that publications like, not publications, but online news sources like the Yahoo Entertainment has picked up on the story. And I hope that by the weekend, more and more people will make it perfectly clear that that troll that took her comments out of context, you know, guys, they have been going way back looking for ways to try to disparage the Sussexes or to try to find something to bring dirt upon them, or, looking into their, um, what is it, the Archwell, and finding something that was like news a long time ago, those kind of things. The Archwell page is full of stuff, and they just kept pulling at those threads. But I don't think it was the media. I think it was a troll that started the whole thing with the Archwell page, saying that they were part of some subversive anti-male, anti-heterosexuals, whatever it was. It was something stupid. And so they keep doing this kind of stuff. So it's because the Sussexes have been keeping a low profile, and it's driving them crazy, and they're not able to make the money that they would normally make. So let me see. Okay, talk to you later. All right. And let's move on here. Now, and by the way, you guys, I want you guys to know that there was a passing. Now, take a look at all these products that you see here. Take a look at it. If you are African American, you have probably used one or more of these products. And no, it's not Cambridge Curl. It is not Cambridge Curl. A founder of Chicago-based Soft Sheen in 1994, Gardner and his wife, Betty Ann, operated their fledgling enterprise in the basement of their home. Over 2 decades, they built it into a mammoth Black-owned hair care manufacturer with global reach. With the introduction of the Carefree Curl line to both professional beauticians and retailers, Soft Sheen realized phenomenal growth as it capitalized on the popular Jerry curl trend of the 1980s. Sales grew from $500,000 in 1979 to $55 million in 1983, catapulting the Soft Sheen to number 8 on the Black Enterprise 100 list, I think that is. By 1989, when it was named BE Company of the Year, Soft Sheen had acquired a London-based distributor and set up a worldwide network of customers in 66 countries to purchase its line of more than 150 products. So if you don't know the story, Soft Sheen hair care products, and also Carson, they started in Chicago, and they grew into this big multinational distribution giant for Black hair care. So that's why I say you probably recognize some of those products. Well, right here, personal care entrepreneur Edward George Gardner was born on February 25th, 1925 in Chicago, Illinois, to Frank and Eva Gardner. Following service in the United States Army during World War II, Gardner returned to Chicago and enrolled in Chicago's Teachers College, where he received his bachelor's degree in 1940, and he went on to also obtain his master's degree from the University of Chicago. Gardner worked for 14 years as an instructor and school administrator for the city of Chicago public schools, while simultaneously working part-time as a Black hair care sales representative. Learning of the dissatisfaction of many African American consumers and hair care professionals, he and his wife Betty Ann launched Soft Sheen products from their basement in 1964. With brands such as Optimum and Carefree Curl, Soft Sheen products grew into a multi-million-dollar enterprise, employing more than 400 people. The company also developed globally, exporting its products to Canada, the Caribbean, and West Africa. And in 1998, Gardner sold soft sheen products to L'Oreal of Paris and passed the day-to-day operations of soft sheen on to his children. Gardner has also been committed to service in Chicago community, because remember, service is universal. He owned a new Regal Theater and served as president of Gardner Investment Partners. In addition, Gardner received credit for helping register over 250,000 people for Mayor Harold Washington's election in 1983. You guys, Harold Washington was like the Barack Obama of Chicago. People thought Chicago would never have a black mayor. As a matter of fact, Barack Obama's campaign director was actually someone who worked for Harold Washington. He served as a board member of the Chicago Urban League and was invited by President Bill Clinton to attend an economic summit in Little Rock, Arkansas, to discuss the impact corporations can have on urban employment. Soft Sheen honors included Company of the Year Award from Black Enterprise magazine and a 1999 Golden Pyramid Award. Edward Gardner was interviewed by the History Makers on August 12, 2002. So as you can see, he was born in Chicago back in 1925. And he established his company back in 1964. And it continues right here. Wholly owned subsidiary of L'Oreal, founded in 1960, 400 people, blah, 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 blah. Toilet preparation manufacturers, all other miscellaneous chemical products and preparation manufacturing. Soft Sheen Products, Inc. Is the top U.S. producer of ethnic hair care products. Is 200 plus products, it's 200 now, include shampoos, conditioners, relaxers, perms, and gels. They are marketed under various brand names, including Alternatives, Baby Love, Carefree Curl, Frizz Free, as well as Sport and Wave, Wave Nouveau, and Optimum Care. The company sells its products to salons, beauty supply houses, and such retailers as drugstores and department stores. In fact, retailers account for approximately 75% of its sales, and salons for 20%. Soft Sheen markets its products in several countries, including Africa, which is not a country, it's a continent, Brazil, and the Caribbean, as well as the United States. And again, you guys, in early 1998, Soft Sheen announced that it had agreed to be acquired by L'Oreal, New York-based U.S. subsidiary Cosmere, Inc., although the company refused to release the price of the acquisition. Industry analysts estimated it at more than $160 million. Not bad for someone who started a product line in his basement. Under the terms of the agreement, Terry Gardner remains as president of Soft Sheen division as well. And also became a member of the Cosmere executive committee. So there you go. The more you know, right? It is unfortunate. And also, you guys, I'm going to tell you a little history about these kind of things. Not only was there the Soft Sheen from Chicago, but there was another company called Jobson Products, which was also started by someone who sold hair care products to Black people out of the back of his car, and it was owned by George H. Johnson. Unfortunately, Jobson Products was acquired by Revlon. So, full disclosure, if you use those products, if you're using Jobson Products, which includes Fashion Fair and Fashion Fair Cosmetics, that is owned by Revlon now. If you use the Soft Sheen products, It is wholly owned by L'Oreal. Interesting that both are French-based companies, but they are the ones that own these manufacturing companies. It's unfortunate. I mean, at least the products are still there, but it's still better, I think, to keep it in the family, so to speak. So before I continue, just take a look again, if you will, at a few of those products, a couple of ads that you may have seen before. Magic Shave is a shave powder that's used by people who have keloid skin, is to keep you from getting those keloid scars on your face by using a razor. So using Magic Shave, you mix it and then you lather it on, and then after X amount of time, you scrape off the Magic Shave, and it removes the hair almost down to the follicle, but it will remove the hair and leave your skin. So it can be painfully hot when you use that, but in case you're wondering what that is. So thought I would share that with you because I know that there are quite a few people that are on Royal Sussex every day that happen to be African American. And so the founder of that company passed away. There he is right there. Born in 1925 and died just a couple of days ago in 2023. What a life he's led, right? So let me see. Lydia says big companies always come and buy out Black-owned companies. Same with Lisa's daughter's product line. Yeah, it is unfortunate. It is very unfortunate. There was like a history of entrepreneurs in Chicago. I think was who was that it was, oh man, the one that had hired she had the hair care stuff. Remember Madam C.J. Walker, the other lady that owned the company, the people they say was also, if not really, the first Black woman millionaire. I forget her name. But anyway, she was in Chicago. There was a lot of companies that were run out of Chicago or that were founded in Chicago. You wouldn't believe so many Black-owned companies, and so few of them still exist today. Very, very unfortunate. Let me see. Oh, okay, Beverly McCaskill. I did not know that. Okay. And Fu says African inventors were never able to get their credit throughout the ages. This new age at least gives some credit to us with knowledge. We are also able to get our dues. Very true, and Fu. Very, very true. Well, that's why I wanted to share this with you guys, because I thought it was very important that in case you didn't know, that you know where these products originated. Marshall says Baron Walmart no longer calls it Black hair care, is multicultural hair care. What cultures are they talking about? Oh man, Marshall, there have been a few drugstores that were keeping Black hair care products behind the security glass and leaving the other stuff out. And as long as they're not doing that, I'm cool. As long as they're not doing that, because unfortunately, they were locking up the Black hair care personal grooming products and leaving the other stuff out. I'm like, what are you trying to say? So, oh boy. Well, at least we know who's responsible for the Jerry curl. John H. Jobson was the publisher of Ebony and Jet magazine, started a fashion showcase. Yeah, it was called Fashion Fair. Fashion Fair. John H. Johnson was Fashion Fair Cosmetics and the publishing company Ebony and Jet magazine, and George Johnson was Johnson Products. not to be confused with some of the other products. But yes, that is true. So, they could actually, it would be really cool if they made a mini series about some of those Black entrepreneurs in Chicago and all those products. That would really, really be cool because there were so many of them. And there's one, oh gosh, I forget his name, but it was something hygiene product. And he actually built this office building to house his workers and stuff. And John H. Johnson and what's his name, Gardner, he also had a factory and office building and everything. So it's and Fashion Fair, they used to sell, well, I'm sure they still do. Fashion Fair was on sale at all of the big department stores. It was just like the MAC Cosmetics. They had their own counter and everything. Very cool. And it was Eunice Johnson. Eunice Johnson was the one who really pushed for the Fashion Fair line. John H. Johnson, he was all about his publishing, but Eunice, she was the one who was like, look, we rich and we are proud Black people. We are going to get into this fashion and beauty industry. Actually, I don't know that that's the exact way it happened, but yeah, Eunice Johnson, right, Rory B. Eunice Johnson, she was like she was making it happen. Very proud and of Black beauty and Black products and such. I remember that part of the was it in the Ebony magazine when they would show all the fashion shows and stuff like that. Something to be very proud of. Something to be very proud of. I would say that John and Eunice Johnson, I would say they did more to perpetuate positive Black images during that period of time than just about anybody. But of course, there were other publications and such like the Chicago Defender. That was like one of the most prestigious Black newspapers in the country. A lot of history that would have been lost is only still around because of the independent Black publishing companies. So very, very important history that needs to be recorded and noted and kept for the ages. Oh, really? Okay. Deborah Robinson says, my daddy started at the Chicago Defender as a photographer. He was then hired by the Chicago Sun-Times as their first African-American photographer. Come on, Deborah Robinson. See there? Squaddies ain't from here and there. We all about the business. That is very cool. Yes, that's the best way to describe it. Thank you so much. Takoya Wood says, is Magic Shave Nair for men? Exactly. It's just like using Nair. Yep. So drop the blade, babe. Put the Nair there. Forget the stubble trouble. Your legs stay smoother for days. Why do I remember that song? Drop the blade, babe. Put the Nair there. Forget the stubble trouble. And your legs stay smoother for days. I used to watch a lot of television. Let me see if I can remember this joke. So this lady walks into a drugstore, right? And she tells the guy at the counter, she says, I need something for hair removal. Okay, maybe I shouldn't tell that joke, but and okay, so he says, well, just make sure that you don't wear any tight sweaters or anything, And she says, it's not for my arms. And then he's like, well, just don't wear any tight pants or pantyhose for a few days. And she says, it's not for my legs. And he says, well, what is it for? She says, it's for my schnauzer. So then it was something else he told her not to wear. But gosh, I hadn't told that joke in years. But she said it's for my schnauzer. It's for my schnauzer. It's for her dog. Get your minds out the gutter. It's for her dog, her schnauzer. But anyway, I know I didn't tell it right, but it was something like that. All right, you guys. So Invictus, Dean shares his experience so far. I'm going to let you listen to the audio. I hope it doesn't mess up. You guys, I had so much to cover today. And let me see if I can get this right. Maybe I should have just said the punchline. It's for my schnauzer. Right? I mean, that's one of them jokes. If you just say the punchline, it's for my schnauzer, then you don't really need the parts in the middle, right? Right. Okay. Let me see here. Okay.
And they are taking care of us here. Seriously, we lack nothing. And they are good. The teaching is also good. The movement, there's progress, and there's a lot of things. And when we come back, we share with you guys. But it's just an eye-opening, actually. And I appreciate it. I indeed really appreciate it. And it is a new experience for us, Nigeria. And I will also love it if Nigeria has a ground like this where we can also practice snowboarding and nothing. So I think it would be nice. It's all fun. We're having a lot of fun here.
Oh, the flags are behind you.
So please,
Here we go.
yes.
Yeah,
that's
all good.
That's Nigeria.
For the flag. Which one?
Oh, I see it.
We got the flag. Yeah.
I'm gonna use it on the snowboard when I'm on the snowboard. I'm gonna make use of it. So I'll fly this flag. So you can see it. You can see it. That we are proud of Nigeria. We are proud of Nigeria, and we're going to do our best that Nigeria has to have the best and recognized all over the world. That someday we will see it as we become a hero. I'm good.
Okay. All right. Thanks, you guys. That was, I know it was a bit hard to understand because of all the background noise, but he's proud of Nigeria. He says they're teaching him a lot of great things. He's lost his arms, and yet he is competing or training, that is. Anyway, it's a beautiful thing. He's in Colorado right now. And I'm telling you, I feel like this warmth that has come over me because of seeing these athletes that have traveled all the way to Nigeria to, not from Nigeria to Colorado, and you see someone with no legs that is snowboarding for the first time. And in some cases, if not all, they've never even seen snow. So it reminded me of this photo that I had. I shared it with you guys a while ago. Nurses from Nigeria who've never seen snow enjoying snow for the first time while working at the Kingsbridge Hospital, Belfast. And that was back in January. Could you imagine that? So for the athletes that are in Colorado, I could just imagine what it must mean for them to have traveled that far and to do things that they didn't know that they could do. So that's a beautiful thing. Thank you for letting me share that with you. Okay. And then, of course, these are some of the products. Introduced today are the bears. I believe those are bears. Yeah, those are the what do you call it? The mascot for Invictus Dusseldorf, those bears. So I don't know how you order those, but I think if you go to the Invictus website, you should be able to order it like that. But yeah, and so thank you to Peace of Peace yesterday. I told you she's the one that seems to have all that information to share about Invictus. She posted that today. So I think up until the Invictus games, I'm going to make sure that I follow Peace because she seems to have all the information that we need to follow the progress of the Invictus team. So, like for instance, if you take a look here, she shared that, which of course is the trains that they're running. And they said that those trains are just the tip of the iceberg. There is going to be, oh, it looks as that mascot looks like a sloth. Okay. Okay. I guess you're right about that. But yes, so those mascots, I'm not mascots, but those trains are just the tip of the iceberg. And here's Peace right here. There she is right there. She's the one that has been sharing all of this. Her Twitter is the Duchess. She's the one been sharing all of this. So she is my hero. She is my absolute hero. And not only because of Twitter, but you guys, she has a cause that she has been championing for a while, and that is awareness about sickle cell anemia. And so she has been encouraging, especially in the UK, that people donate blood for patients that are suffering from sickle cell anemia. So that is just a couple of things that I know about her. So she is a superhero. If there's any woman in all of the Sussex squad that should be celebrated for Women's History Month, I would say Peace has got to be at the top of the list. Okay. All right. And so I still got more, you guys. This is like the day that will never end. So Prince Harry surprises military veteran on car SOS. You are the definition of inspiration. So all of a sudden, and I don't have the video for this for obvious reasons, but the Duke of Sussex sent a moving video message to veteran Lance Corporal Stephen Van Niekerk, a father of four who lost his legs in Afghanistan in 2009. Prince Harry made a surprise appearance on the National Geographic renovation show Car SOS to reach out to a fellow veteran. The Duke of Sussex sent a video message to Lance Corporal Stephen Van Niekerk after a veteran who was injured after the veteran who was injured after stepping on an IED, that is a improvised explosive device, IED, asked for mechanical help from his host Fuzz Townsend on his Jeep Grand Cherokee. I've got a message for you, host. Anyway, I think I can let you listen to it. I think I could do that. Let me see. Can I let you listen to it? Do I have it? Actually, I don't think. Give me a second. Give me a second. I do have it. I do have it. Or do I? Yes, I do. Give me a second. Sorry about that, you guys. I knew I was forgetting to do something. Okay. People who need people. Magazine, Prince Harry. Nope, that's not it. Okay. Okay, so from today, no, I don't want to look at the eviction thing. I'm going to get to the the eviction later. Okay, here is that phone call. I hope it works this time. Let me know if you guys have sound. Oh, okay. So no sound. All right. Sorry about that. Not to worry. I got it. I got it. Here goes.
Stefan, it's clear to me that I'm in front of one hell of a guy. And to be honest with you, if you don't take it from me, that you're not this inspirational guy, you're not a hero, but there's somebody I think you might take it from. I've got a little message for you here.
Hi, Stefan. Congratulations. I hope at this point you're sitting in your brand new, or something what looks like a brand new Jeep. Good on you, mate. Well done. Fully deserved. I can't think of anyone that deserves this more than you. After getting injured at such a young age, after 2 tours of Afghanistan, you are the definition of inspiration, because you are not defined by your injury. You are defined by your selflessness to others, to your community, your inspirational talks to young people, and of course to your 4 kids and your amazing wife Sadie, who no doubt has got you this far. So full respect, well done you. And I heard someone told me that you're planning to cycle from Canada to Mexico, just a mere 2,745 miles, I think. Good luck with that. I know you're going to do it. I know you're going to smash it. I know you're going to raise a load of money for Blesma as well. Other than that, mate, just a huge congratulations, and a thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your continued service and commitment to others. I'm sure your whole family is incredibly proud of you. I'm proud of you. We're all proud of you. And there's a reason that you were chosen for this. So yeah, saddle up and enjoy your new wheels, and then make sure that you get as fit as you can for this next huge adventure that's coming your way. And then you can smash that. And at the end of that, I would love to meet you, even if it's over a Zoom. But yeah, full respect, mate. Well done. Love it. And yeah, catch you soon. Cheers.
Okay, so there you go. Sorry about the sound issue, you guys. Right. Better. Excellent. So yes, that is the young man who lost his legs. And so the car SOS, people who are needy and worthy of their support. In other words, someone who needs their help with things that are hard to or difficult to afford. Like, for instance, this Jeep is obviously specially equipped for his needs. And so in order to keep the Jeep running, they had to ask for help. And Car SOS, that's what they do. It doesn't necessarily have to be for someone who's a veteran or anyone who has been injured. It could be anybody who needs help. And so that's what they do. They reach out to help people. So very cool. And how about that? He's sitting up there minding his business. And next thing you know, Prince Harry is on the call. And you can see the camera crew up there in the upper right photo. He had no idea that that was coming. So very cool, Prince Harry. And congratulations, Stephen Nykirk. Or is it Nykirk? Nykirk. Okay. Anyway, very cool. That's our Prince Harry. Today, you guys, actually yesterday, I didn't know that this had happened, but did you guys know yesterday was the 13th anniversary of the Affordable Care Act? Now, I have a little riddle for you guys. Not riddle, but a question and answer. And, well, you can see right there, many of you folks who joined me today for the anniversary of the Affordable Care Act were also present for the signing of it. They may remember the words I used to describe it. It was a big deal. 13 years later, I stand by that. Do you guys remember what he whispered to Barack Obama and they overheard it? Joe Biden was trying to say how wonderful this was. And he used some rather interesting language, which is why Barack Obama is laughing. Anybody remember? Well, come on, you know Joe Biden. He said something colorful, that is. I'll give you a second. Yes. John Commonwealther. Of course, I can't say it, but he said it was a big flipping deal. That's right. Joe Biden let slip the F-bomb. Thank you. Yes, he let slip the F-bomb. Joe Biden let the F-bomb out in the most dignified room of the White House, the East Room. And you can see he's laughing because he remembers it, from 13 years ago. So yes, thank you to the dynamic duo, Obama and Biden, for the Affordable Care Act. Do you know how many people have insurance today that otherwise would not have had any health care if it wasn't for the Affordable Care Act? And while we're on that, let us not give special shout out to Hillary Clinton, who was very instrumental in coverage for children during the Clinton administration. That was when they first tried the universal health care. And of course, the Republicans did not allow it. So it was the Clinton administration, don't forget that, it was the Clintons that made sure that every child in America received full health coverage, regardless of your ability to pay. So there you go. Also, there was speeches last night. There is Joe Biden. He had invited President Obama and the rest of the Democrats that made it possible. History is made when men and women decide there is a greater risk in accepting a situation we cannot bear than steeling our spine and embracing the promise of change. Joe Biden. And healthcare is a right, not a privilege. Every person in our nation should be able to access and afford the health care they need to thrive. Vice President Harris. So that happened yesterday, you guys. Last night, I think it was. Speaking of which, don't forget it is Women's History Month, and a woman who has made history just by her campaign and then presence in the White House is the Vice President, Kamala Harris, and there she is over the years. Now, remember, Kamala Harris, she has been accused of not being, I'm not even going to dignify it by saying it, but people have been making comments about her race, and it is very unfair to do that to anyone. But just so you can see, Kamala looks like just about anybody in my family. I don't think she would really stick out at all as a member of my family, but if you listen to some people, you know what I'm saying? So that's all I'll say about that. I'm just very tired of that type of accusations. Okay, and then of course, Shurha Adaslu. Gosh, I mess up her name, but you guys remember her from the Archetypes, and she also wore a dress to promote the movement by the Iranian women. She herself is of Iranian or Iranian heritage. And there she is again. She's going to do a magazine article. I'm delighted to be featured in this month's issue of the Eden magazine, in which I talk about the ongoing protests in Iran, new projects, and the launch of my hair care products in collaboration with Anis Beauty. So there she is. I just wanted you guys to see her again because I have like I don't know. When I listened to Archetypes, I was just really moved by her story. So every chance I get to share an update about her, I like to take the time to do that. And of course, after 10 weeks, Spare has dropped to the number 2 position in the New York Times bestsellers list, dethroned by new entry. Let me see. Wait, no, is it right? Dethroned by, new entrant, that is, Saved. We'll see if a 1 week anomaly or if it's a 1 week anomaly or marks the end of Prince Harry's grip on the top spot. So yes, after 10 weeks, Spare is no longer number 1 on the New York Times bestseller list. But that's okay. He had a good run. And you know what? He might be back next week. So let's see how it goes. Hey, Shay, what's up? Hi, Baron and beautiful squatties. Good morning from the Philippines. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us here on Royal Sussex. Happy Saturday to you. I can't believe I'm saying that, but it's Saturday for you, right? Very cool. You guys, this is a very long Royal Sussex. I wish I could say I was done, but I'm not. I still got about 20 more slides. So get comfortable. Go get yourself something to drink because we got more work to do. We the people, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare. Let me drink some water. Yeah, I'm not done yet, Connie Balmer. I still got more. So if you guys remember Schoolhouse Rock, we the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, to establish justice and to ensure domestic tranquility, to provide for common defense and promote the general welfare and to ensure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our prosperity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. What beautiful words. You would never expect that a room full of slave-owning white men could come up with something as beautiful as that. But all of those men, if not most of them, they owned slaves. Well, this is what they call the Constitutional Convention. They were, if you've never seen this before, this is just one of several illustrations where they sat around in Philadelphia and they decided what kind of nation this is going to be, right? That's exactly what's happening in Jamaica right now. Prime Minister Andrew Holness this afternoon named Canadian professor Richard Albert among the 14 member Constitutional Reform Committee as the country moves toward Republican status. So what you see here is what happened over 200 years ago here in the United States when all of those slave-holding white men sat around and decided that this should be a free country for rich white men. And I just think it is absolutely awesome that the people of Jamaica very soon will become a republic just like the United States, a representatory republic. So there you go. That is why I opened with the Continental Congress. There you go. So very cool, right? I love it. Oh, you're welcome, Shay. I appreciate you being here. Morning here, and I got off from work. Currently commuting in a jeepney. Is that like a taxi? So it is confirmed that the Sussexes are attending the coronation. Is it really? Did I miss that? Did I miss that? Did that happen just like since I've been on here? Let me take a look. Let me take a look. I don't want to see Gwyneth Paltrow. Why is she everywhere? Oh yeah, you know what? They did say that the other day, right? Or did they? I'm not sure. I'm not sure, Shay. Wow. Oh wow. Let me see. Are scores being settled? Docker's daughter, Angela Kelly, the late Queen's abrasive right-hand woman dubbed AK-47, misses out on top gong in King's special honors list marking his mother's death. Oh, wow. So Angela Kelly is not going to be honored by Charles III. Isn't that something? After all those years of service, you mean to tell me Angela Kelly is not going to be honored by Charles III? That's interesting. And I'm glad too, because she was awful. Well, okay. Okay, you guys, let me keep this moving because I got so much to cover. What was I thinking, right? Sorry, Connie Balmer. We got so much more to cover. I have lost about 300 people too. I noticed that about 300 people just evaporated from the count. King Charles visits to France postponed amid protests. Emmanuel Macron, that is French, you know, Emmanuel Macron says it would not have been serious or good sense for next week's visit to go ahead. So there you go, you guys. There will not be a royal visit to the nation of France by the king and his cohort. Lavish banquet to be attended by Charlie and Macron moved over fears of violence. I do the worst French accent, don't I? But yeah, so there will not be a dinner. There won't be anything. As a matter of fact, Charles has been encouraged to stay away. Jael says, yes, it is a total scandal at the French news. Yeah, I would say it is quite the scandal. And then here you can see months in the making, Charles's posh itinerary with the Queen Consort Camilla for March 26th to 29th trip include a visit to the Musée d'Orsay, the Museum d'Orsay, a wreath-laying ceremony at the Arc de Triomphe, and a lavish dinner at the formal royal residence, the Palace of Versailles. They're planning on going to Versailles. It does not look good. This seems very 1789, Clark said. The opulent Versailles, once the dazzling center of the royal Europe and the focal point of the French Revolution, is an enduring symbol of social inequalities and excess. Well, this was written before they decided that they cannot go and they won't go. But one of the things I took time to do today was to create an image of Camilla at the Palace of Versailles. There you see Camilla Antoinette, Queen of Versailles. So let's say a scheming, devious side piece decided that she would marry the king, that she would rid the country of Marie Antoinette. And in spite of her rugged good looks, looks that put me in mind of, I don't know, Ernest Borgnine, in spite of those rugged Ernest Borgnine looks of hers, somehow Camilla Antoinette, Queen of Versailles, would somehow make it all the way to the town of Versailles to have dinner with Charles. Is it trois? No, trois is two. How do you say three in French? Charles the Third. That's how you say it. Charlie the Third. Yes, so she would go through all that trouble to have dinner with Charlie the Third. Make that make sense. How do you say that in French? Make that make sense. But anyway, so well, you got to admit, she already has the big hair, so she would be perfect as Marie Antoinette. And of course, unbelievable to have Emmanuel Macron, the Republic monarch, welcoming King Charles III in Versailles, while the people in the streets are demonstrating. Sandrine Rousseau, a lawmaker from France's Green Party, told the French channel BFM TV, of course, the king should cancel his visit, she added. And that's exactly what happened. They canceled the visit. Hey, Sean, because this is what's going on. Not a good time for a visit. And, the royal couple has nearly been had before, if you remember this incident. Well, and of course, they were promising sabotage. Now, French workers set to sabotage King Charles' historic state visit. This is why they decided to, to keep, to not go, is because people were threatening to sabotage. As you can see, there's a shoe that says "Keep calm" and what is that? Clomp on. Historic first state visit by King Charles III next week to France could be sabotaged by striking workers. Now, that is an interesting word, sabotage. It is from the French word sabot. And of course, it reminded me of the topic I've been meaning to cover for a while, the origins of the word sabotage. This word has its origins in the textile industry during the Industrial Revolution. But there's some controversy as to exactly where the word came from. We know it arose at the beginning of the 19th century, but from what circumstances? Well, one theory related to the invention of Jacquard loom by Frenchman Joseph Marie Jacquard. Am I saying that right? Jacquard, in 1801. The Jacquard loom uses punch cards to automate the raising and lowering of the warp threads, allowing one to achieve many more sheds than human weavers could ever grapple with. This invention, however, put many textile workers out of a job. The theory is that these employees, through their wooden clogs, the French word for these clogs is sabot, into the delicate machinery to wreak havoc. So when you hear the word sabotage, that is the wooden shoes that they wore, called these sabots. So that is your oh really for today. That's your oh really for today. Sabotage. And there, of course, is that incident where Camilla and Charles were nearly snatched out of the state Bentley and beaten silly by a crowd of people. Fortunately, they didn't get hurt, but I can't say the same for the state Bentley, which received a broken window. And of course, Camilla made that face like she like she just found out her wedding wasn't legal. And of course, they almost missed the performance at the Royal Variety in 2010. So they could have been running into that same situation, but 100 times worse. So better to stay home. And yesterday, we mentioned this. Would you vote for him? Where they ran onto the, oh gosh, the Kamati, is it Kamati floor? In the pavement, rather, they call it, in the Westminster Abbey, that ancient floor that was actually laid down back in 1268 by Henry III. Well, see, I told you that floor was in such delicate condition that they really don't expect people with shoes to walk on it. See there? And they are wearing like them hiking boots. So after the coronation, they are actually going to let people use the pavement again, but you have to take your shoes off. So, yeah, if you want to stand in the very same spot where Charles III was crowned, pretty soon you will be able to do something that hasn't been done for 150 years. Even when Queen Elizabeth was crowned, they didn't allow people to walk on that pavement, but it has been restored like new or as close as possible. And the Cosmati pavement will be available again for people to actually experience the thrill of walking on a floor that was laid back in 1268. Well, don't get all excited at once, you guys. Oh, man. Anyway, let me see. I think I'm almost done. King Charles is not a housing association for distant relatives. Harry and Meghan's Frogmore Cottage eviction is just the start of a slimmed down monarchy, and the family will no longer use London pads, sources say. King said to view eviction of Harry and Meghan's from Frogmore as just a start. Look at how tough people can be when they are the ones that are about to be evicted. Charles is trying to look strong and decisive. And so to do that, he's picking on Harry and Meghan with all of these briefings from so-called sources and palace insiders. Why don't you just post a comment using the official stationery, put it on the internet so everybody can see what your intentions are, instead of hiding behind all of those courtiers and those so-called royal experts. Now, this started how many weeks ago? King Charles evicts Prince Harry and Meghan Markle from home in England. And so they find these pictures of Harry and Meghan, and this is so silly, and I'm sick of it. Do you hear me? Sick of it. Lorna Williams says, sorry, but you will hear it from Montecito first before the royal family or anyone else. Remember, Prince Harry controls his own narrative. Everything else is rubbish. Rubbish. I agree with you, Lorna Williams. So it's hard for me to take somebody dressed up like a magician as being strong and decisive. I mean, let's face it. You walking around in 2023 like you about to pull a rabbit out of a hat, and you want people to take you serious? Really? You see what I'm saying? It is hard to look at him as being strong and decisive. This man who was waiting for 70 years to finally get the top billing in this saga known as the royal family, he is still dressing like they did at the time of William the Conqueror. And you want us to take you serious when you say you're going to throw the Sussexes out of their home? I would feel he was more credible if he pulled a rabbit out of a hat. But to try to make me believe, how are you going to evict rich people? How do you hurt or impact rich people? I don't know how to tell you this, but they're rich. They're rich. They're wealthy. Their foundation has exceeded 2 United States presidents and first ladies. They are rich. That's why this is so stupid. They're rich. Now he's trying to make himself look strong while he's walking around looking like he about to say abracadabra, ignoring the fact that the Sussexes are rich. So if you want to look strong, there's other stuff to do. But this whole thing about the eviction, I'm so tired of hearing about that. I'm tired of hearing about balconies. I'm tired of hearing about will they or won't they come. I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of it. They're rich. So that's what they need to accept. The Sussexes are flush with money and opportunity. So having some rogue magician running around wearing his cape in 2023, it doesn't inspire a lot of credibility. I don't feel so intimidated by some 73-year-old man with childbearing hips and sausage fingers wearing a cape. And they wonder why people laugh at them. I'm so tired of hearing slim down monarchy. Helen Coles, Charles needs to pay Harry for the work done to improve Frogmore. Amen to that. And thank you so much. And thank you for the super sticker and for watching Royal Sussex. Yes, pay for the work that was done. I believe they deserve to be reimbursed for the work that they've done to that little servant's quarters. And I'm sure that they put some money into that Nottingham cottage too. But far be it from them to comment about it. What's that, Sean? Royal message. Oh, okay. Let me tap into the other side and see what Her Majesty has to say about it. Because I knew that we were missing out on another version of this. Her Majesty the Queen says, I, Queen Elizabeth II, ruler of the United Kingdom and the golden carriages, thus collecting dust, do hereby declare I am more popular dead than Camilla is alive. Camilla, you look awful. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sean, for bringing us those very compelling words from the other side. Always a pleasure. I don't know how you have been communing with Her Majesty the Queen, but I really do appreciate it because I have been wondering, like I say, I like to have full disclosure. And so I was wondering what Her Majesty may have been thinking about these events that are unfolding. And so thank you for that. And as always, thank you for watching Royal Sussex. You're welcome. The part I can't work out is how do you always know exactly what she's thinking? I haven't worked that out yet. Let me see. Black Queen says, if Harry and Meghan decides not to go, they'll say Chucky told them that they couldn't be part of the ceremony or be on the balcony. See, they are planting the seeds already in the trash, New Yorker. Yeah, and that is what this is all about, is leverage. They're trying to leverage things so that no matter what happens, abracadabra, King Charlie will always look strong and decisive. I'm pretty sure of that. Okay, so of course, this person who has been, listen, you're trying to evict them or pretend like you're trying to evict them. And there are people right behind you with eviction notices. You see that? Those people are holding eviction notices. Not my king. That's an eviction notice. It worked for the Bourbons when they decided to rid France of the royal family, and it may work for the Windsors too. That is an eviction notice as far as I'm concerned. So, which eviction notice do you think carries more weight? Threatening rich people who live in California, or the people behind you with the yellow and black signs? I say that's what you ought to worry about. Let's see. For Lost World, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Friday to you. Okay, and of course, this very brave man wearing capes and tights and all that kind of stuff in the year 2023. Look at the look on his face when he left Westminster Abbey last time. This is the fearless leader who's picking on his son and his wife and has tried to strip their children of their birthrights. This is the man who's being so strong and decisive. But take a look at that face. Now, either he just had a bowel movement or he saw a bunch of people across the street with those big yellow and black placards saying, "Not my king." See what I'm saying? And even when they left Westminster Abbey, he's still looking over his shoulder at those people holding a sign saying, "Not my king." See what I'm saying? That's why it is so ridiculous. This whole and I'm pretty sure that this whole eviction thing, this is just like Meghan is a bully. Now it is Charles is going to evict them from Frogmore. Always something to try to make him look strong and decisive. How sad. That is a very sad individual. And I'm going to show you guys something. Le France d'août les tapis rouges et Charlie III. In other words, France is going to run the red carpet for Charles III. Tapis rouge, that's red carpet or carpet red. They're going to lay down the red carpet for Charles III. They're not, because he's not going, because he's either afraid to go and decided to stay home. But if he stay home, he's still not safe because there's people over there that are protesting him. So either way, he's kind of running out of options. You know, the Queen spoke French. The Queen could actually speak French. Philip could speak French. Charles, I think he only speaks German. But French, for many, many hundreds of years, was the official language of almost every royal household in Europe. Everybody spoke French. The Germans spoke French, the Italians, everybody spoke French. That was considered the like official language of the royal households in Europe. And so the queen, being raised by those Edwardians, was quite fluent in French. The French love the queen, but they don't like Charles, and he's not going to get the same appreciation. There you go. So Camilla, I think that if she has to carry him into the Westminster Abbey, she's going to make sure that he gets crowned. So he's looking kind of po, but no matter what condition he's in, if he still has a heartbeat, he is going to be crowned in May. Henry VIII said today, the first 6 months of Charles III's reign are exceeding my expectations. I screamed when I saw that because I know exactly what she means. And if you guys remember or are missing our Henry VIII, she's got a newborn and she's taken some time away from all this madness. But I hope that she'll do something, especially with her mom. I love her mom. I hope that they'll do something for the coronation. That would be fantastic. So check this out. There is a small crowd. Interestingly, they didn't add this to their public diary of engagements. Wonder why? King Charles arrives in Canary Wharf to loud cheers of people shouting, "We love you." He's there to open a new European bank for reconstruction and development. The visit was under embargo, so no one knew he was arriving, hence why not many people were there. But it didn't stop those there cheering his arrival. It looked like they bust some people in. It really do. It's not that many people. But the point is, they made sure that this event happened and away from, any of the protesters that has been plaguing all the events that Charles has gone to lately. So he's making sure this is strong, decisive Charles, who's taken such pleasure in evicting his son and his daughter-in-law. But he's the one that is intimidated. The Sussexes are rich. They'll be okay. But Charles is the one that has to worry about this stuff. So whether this movement is real or not, if they show up at Coronation Day, I will know for sure that this is the real thing. But maybe if this is like a false flag or controlled dissension or whatever, then maybe they're making this big fuss and nothing will happen Coronation Day. But they keep putting out the word to show up. And I'm pretty sure that people will show up. So he's the one that's embarrassed. He ought to be careful what he asks for, because he's digging a hole for other people, but he's going to end up being the one that falls into it. He's digging his own hole without anybody's help, with those big sausage fingers and childbearing hips. I think we have another message from the other side. Is that possible? Is that possible? Let me see here. I, Queen Elizabeth II, ruler of the United Kingdom and the only golden piano in England, do hereby declare that when the wind went under Camilla's blue coat, the dead almost rose up with disgust. Thank you, Sean, for that very timely message. from the other side. That's interesting because you know, at a glance, you see a silhouette that you liken to a Marilyn Monroe movie, but when you take a full measure, you get this. You know what I'm saying? And that is just, and speaking of which, you can see here how she keeps flirting with the idea that that A cut that she wears is going to fly up over her head. The day that that happens, I think I'm going to go and have my eyes removed because I don't know if I could ever unsee it. I don't want to see it. But anyway, thank you so much, Your Majesty. I really appreciate you communing from the other side and making your feelings known about this situation because I was just afraid that we weren't going to hear from you, but thank you. Let me see here. See? All right, here goes. Oh, wait. There we go. One more time, Your Majesty. Aha. Thank you so much. But wait a minute. Wait. That's not your favorite, is it? Wait, hold on. This is the favorite of the queens. I got it. Here we go. There we go. All righty. Thank you so much, Sean, and thank you for communing with Her Majesty from the other side. All right. And I think, oh, you know what, guys? That was it. I'm done. It took almost 3 hours. I don't know how I had so much to talk about today, but it took almost 3 hours. But I am done. All right. Let me find something pleasant for us to. There we go. How about yellow t-shirt guy? That's pleasant enough, I think. Yeah, so with that, you guys, if you have any other comments that you'd like to share, I'll be looking for those right now. Otherwise, for those of you that are staying up way too late tonight, thank you so much for joining us on Royal Sussex. Please do get your rest and take care of your business. Good morning to you guys that are on the other side of the time zone. I think it is midnight in the UK, isn't it? It's after midnight. Let me see. Iris Timoni says, I bet has turned over. Oh, Betty has turned over in her grave, is messing with her grandson, Perry, grandson. Is that a typo? Or is it Archie? Messing with her grandson, Archie. Oh, no, Harry, not Perry, Harry. Got it. Sorry, Iris Demonia, for messing with her grandson, Harry. Absolutely. I mean, Harry was her favorite grandchild, and I do believe they had a bit of a bond. But unfortunately, the courtiers, I'm telling you guys, I'm waiting to hear the full story with the courtiers. Oh, thank you, Sonia Johnson. Thank you. Good night. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you all for coming. And our last word of the day will be, okay, this will be the last word of the day. This is Alex Murdoch, and I'm up in it real big. Wait a minute. No, I'm up in it real bad. Yeah. This is Alex Murdoch, and I'm up in it real bad. I'm up in it real bad. Hello, this is Alex Murdoch, and I'm up in it real bad. I'm up in it real bad. I'm up in it real bad. He never did say what real bad meant, but boy, I tell you, that guy was a lie a minute, wasn't he? So that's the last word of the day is I'm up in it real bad. Okay, and with that, you guys, as usual, where are our queens? Let me see. That's let me go and find our queens. Oh yeah. From yesterday. Where's it at? Exclusive. William stuns customers as he enjoys a great night having dinner at an LGBTQ restaurant, choosing a dish during surprise trip to. Well, anyway, you guys know what he had. He had the pulled pork. Of course, he had the pulled pork. He would have to have the. I mean, it just wouldn't have been a good story if it wasn't for the pulled pork, right? Right. I would have guessed pulled pork. I mean, you just look at William and you just see pulled pork. Pulled pork. A pulled pork sandwich for William. Of course he did. Oh, this is Alex Murdoch, and I want a pulled pork sandwich real bad. I want it real bad. Who? Prince William. This is Prince William, and I want a pulled pork sandwich real bad. I want it real bad. All right, you guys, to our queens, thank you for the wonderful children. And with that, you guys, I'm going to say love you, and I will see you all tomorrow. And we are going to end with the Ginger Avenger as per usual. So our founding fathers, they sat down and they wrote a song. They wrote a list of principles, and it goes kind of like this here. In 1787, I'm told, our founding fathers all sat down. They wrote a list of principles that's known the world around. The USA was just starting out, a whole brand new country. And the people said it out. They want a land of liberty. So they all sat around and they said, this is Alex Murdoch, and I'm up in it real bad. And then they said, we the people, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, enhance, secure the blessings of liberty, to ourselves and our prosperity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of Alex Murdoch, and I'm up in it real bad. America. Oh man. So anyway, I butchered that song. But yeah, so that's what's happening right now in Jamaica. They are writing down a list of principles that shall be known the world around. And it says, well, pretty much it says we're moving on. We're moving forward. We just are not that into you any longer. That's what they're saying. So take all of your remnants of colonialism, take your side piece, and just go. That's what they're saying. Go. Yep. Slip out the back, Jack. Don't be coy, Roy. Just leave me the key, Lee. Hop on the bus, Gus. And don't give me no fuss. That's what you're saying. All right. Let me see. Oh, man. All right. I think we're good. All right. See you guys. Love you.